Hey guys, Movie Fan 356 here, continuing Halloween Horror Month with my Scream series reviews, and today we're talking about Scream 3. It came out in the year 2000, and it's once again directed by Wes Craven, and it's starring Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, now Courtney Cox Arquette, and David Arquette. And you also get Patrick Dempsey in here, Parker Posey, Dean Richmond, and yeah, that's basically our core cast of the film. Now, the plot is it's a couple years after Scream 2, and we see that they are making Stab 3 is in production and they're filming it right now, and someone is going around killing the cast of the film and leaving behind pictures of Sydney's mother back when she was in her 20s, and they're trying to track down Sydney. And Sydney is now in hiding, and that kind of brings Dewey and Gale together again to work with the police. You know, who's Detective Mark Kincaid, who's played by Patrick Dempsey in the film, and they're gonna solve this thing, and protecting Sydney in the process. That's basically the plot of the movie. Now, what I think of Scream 3 is overall this movie is a giant mess. It is such a mess. I don't know what happened. Okay, I kind of know what happened. There was some violent stuff going on, but the time that they were trying to get this movie done, so they had to change the script or something. And Kevin Williamson, who wrote the first two movies, did not write the script. He wrote an outline, and Aaron Kruger ended up writing the script for this film, and it's for the most part it's a mess. A lot of things are bad about this film. It does have a couple things that I don't hate throughout the film, but overall, this film is just a mess. That's the easiest way I can describe it to you. The opening of the film. Let's start with the opening. Liv Schreiber's back as Cotton Weary. I like seeing Cotton back in this one, you know? It's like, okay, he survived the second movie. He's been through all this shit. And, the killer's got this... we see that the killer has his voice changer, because Cotton Weary's talking to a girl, and then he changes the voice like, I'm in your house, Cotton, with your girlfriend who's in the shower. She's got a nice little voice. A step up for Maureen Prescott. And, I'm like, whoa, so he has a voice changer? I'm like, at first I was fine with it, because, like, okay, he's got a changer that makes his voice into a girl, and then back to the killer's voice. Sure, fine, I'm fine with that. And then they kill Cotton in the opening scene. I'm like, well, what was the point of bringing Cotton back only to kill him off that early on? I mean, if you're gonna kill him off, at least do it a little bit later on, like they did with Jamie Kennedy, which I'm still pissed off about. Yeah, that's what I would have done, but that's why I'm not a professional in Hollywood right now. That's why I make videos in the fucking garage. So, anyway, the opening scene was just a mess right from there. Then the movie, you see all these, actual actors playing, Sydney and Gale and Dewey and all these characters from the Scream movies, and you see Parker Posey, who's playing Gale, was she supposed to be funny? 'Cause she's not. Parker Posey, I think, is a fine actress in a couple other movies. I can name a couple other movies where I actually didn't hate her in. This movie, I can't stand her. I don't know if she was trying to be funny, or if that was just her acting in this movie. And for some reason, Wes Craven was totally fine with this, and her going like, yeah, that's funny, that's good, keep it. For some reason, I don't know. Parker Posey, she's playing the Gale Weathers in the Stab movies, but she's playing a character named Jennifer in the film. And, terrible. I hate the character of Jennifer. I hate Parker Posey's performance in it. Then we see Dean Richmond playing, Tyson in the film, who's supposed to be like the Randy character in the film, which I can't really buy. I guess don't judge a book by its cover, because just looking at him, I can't buy it. But, who knows? His character I was kind of okay with. I'm like, okay, he's serious, but he's also trying to make jokes at the same time. Again, back to the Matthew Lillard type character, who's kind of making jokes at the right times. He's not overacting it. He's not really trying to be funny. He just liked to crack a joke here and there. So I was fine with his character. Then we see Gale and Dewey together, and apparently they talk about how, look, we tried to be together, it didn't work, I couldn't stay in Woodsboro, that's why I had to move out here, and you're like, so they were together? Why couldn't we see them actually together instead of this, the same thing in all three movies of them just, I fucking hate you, I fucking hate you too, well, I fucking love you, I fucking love you too, kind of relationship going. It's like, you know, I just want to see them together. See what actually happens other than just talking about it. Sydney, which I actually don't hate in this movie. I don't hate the main three. Gale, Dewey, and Sydney. I don't hate them. I just want to make that clear right now. It's just the writing and the directing that they went that they went with them. Sydney we see is now in hiding. And she's smart. She got a job where she changed her name, and we find out she's a crisis counselor over the phone. And she's in hiding, she's in the middle of nowhere, and the only person that really knows where she is Dewey and her dad, which we get a little brief appearance as Sydney's dad in this movie. It's the same actor returning from the first movie. I thought that was a cool little bit. I'll give it that. And Mark Kincaid is the detective who's working on it and trying to solve the case, and the killer keeps leaving pictures of Maureen Prescott in her 20s, which I kind of get why they did that. Trilogies, this was supposed to be the end of the trilogy. It was supposed to be the end of the Scream movies. And trilogies, as Randy says, true trilogies are all about going back to the beginning and discovering something that wasn't true from the get-go. You know, Godfather, Jedi, all revealed something that we thought was true that wasn't true. And number two, the past will come back to bite you in the ass. Whatever you think you know about the past, forget it. The past is not at rest. Any sins you think were committed in the past are about to break out and destroy you. Yeah, I just quoted Randy, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I get why they did it. They're trying to bring it back full circle to the beginning. I got that. I didn't really hate that factor of it. It was different than what we've seen in the first two movies. I'm like, okay, they did intend for this one to be the last one. You get a pass on that. The fucking voice changer. Let's go back to that. Yeah, like I said, the character of Ghostface, the killer, can change the voice to any of the characters in the movie. Somehow he was able to get all their voices, even the dead ones. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why did they do this? Why couldn't they just keep it the one voice? Just keep it the one killer voice who's voiced by Roger Jackson in the film, which phenomenal job on all four of these movies. I never mentioned it before. I'm going to now. Just keep his voice. I don't care that he's got Dewey's voice or Gale's voice or Sydney's voice or Sydney's mom's voice for some reason. How the fuck did that happen? And I don't care. I don't care about that. Detective Mark Kincaid in the film, I thought he was okay. He was an okay character. I didn't mind him. Like I said, guys, overall this movie's a mess, but there are a couple things here and there that I'm like, okay, whatever on it. It's fine, whatever. Let's see here. The kills in the film, not memorable. There's no, at least with the first movie you had the Drew Barrymore kill scene, and hell, even the garage kill scene with Tatum. Those are memorable scenes. Those are memorable kills. This movie had nothing that was memorable about the kills. It's just, I bet if you go to a person and say, well, have you seen Scream 3? Or have you seen Scream? No. Well, do you know about any of the kills from Scream 1? A lot of them are going to say, well, Drew Barrymore, hanging from the tree and she got the call with the horror trivia. Yeah, because that's memorable. Scream 3, have you seen it? No. Can you at least name any of the kills from that movie? No. Yeah, it's just, the kills aren't memorable. They're not good enough. It's the simple, generic shit, which I know the first two movies had, but at least they tried to spice it up a little bit. This one, really nothing. Randy's cameo when he's on the videotape, because he's dead, and they put in the videotape and he's explaining, look, if I do not survive these killings here at Windsor College, I'm leaving my legacy. That's basically what it says. It's not the exact quote. And I like the fact that he recorded that, because I'm like, oh, this is such a cop out, you know. Just he's on a videotape and he's got the rules made, but to me it makes sense, you know. Killings is he recorded this during Scream 2 somewhere during Scream 2 he filmed that right before he died. He's like, look, killings are happening again, and if I don't make it, I want my legacy to get out there to people who do make it, and it starts happening again. So I like that they did that. That was fine. The killer. Yeah, let's talk about the killer. The killer turns out to be Roman, which was the director of Stab 3. And we find out is Sidney's long-lost half-brother. Okay, let me first say that what a whiny little bitch. I don't care. You know, Roman was kind of annoying in the movie itself when he was just the director and the whole movie's complaining, well, why couldn't somebody kill the cast from Stab 1? Huh? Or Stab 2? Huh? Why me? What do we do wrong? And he's like, you know, someone's trying to ruin my movie. Someone wants to kill my movie. And he's just bitching the whole movie. I'm like, shut up. And when it's revealed it was him, I'm like, okay, so that whole being annoying thing was all just kind of an act thing so nobody would suspect you. Okay, fine. But no, he's actually that whiny and that annoying. I'm like, god damn it. The director, you know, they tried to do the same thing, I feel, in Scream 2 and Scream 3. They don't have any scenes with Roman and Sidney together in it, or where they're near each other, really. And, you know, I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is somebody that Sidney actually knows, and that's why, you know, they're not going to show it, you know, Sidney and Roman being in the same room together when Sidney would know that, okay, maybe this is our killer kind of thing. That's what I thought at first. And then she explains, no, I'm actually your half-brother that you never knew about. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. What was the point? I don't care that mommy got raped and by the producer and, you know, a whole bunch of other people and just gave you up and moved to Woodsboro and met Sidney's dad. I don't care about your little sob story. I'm sorry. My heart is cold for you right now, Roman Bridger. Yeah. I will say, though, the fight scene between Roman and Sidney, though, was actually pretty good. I actually think the fight scene was fine. I have no problem with the fight scene. In fact, I kind of like that fight scene a lot. And I like the fact that he was the only person to have the Ghostface costume on the entire time that they were fighting at the end. Everybody else takes the mask off, reveals themselves, starts taking off the outfits and everything. And I like the fact that he kept the outfit on the whole time. I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of digging the fact that he's still in the costume. And, you know, the fight scene's actually pretty cool. But as for the killer itself and the whole motive behind it, and how he was the one who told Billy, like, he's like, yeah, I'm the one who told Billy to kill your fucking mom and all that. I'm like, no, you didn't. I don't care what this movie tries to tell me otherwise. You didn't. Billy, if you go back and watch the first movie, there's really no hints that Billy was told to do this by anybody. He did that on his own free will. So, overall, the Jay and Silent Bob cameo, which I don't mind. I don't mind the Jay and Silent Bob cameo. I did like the Carrie Fisher cameo a lot, but the Jay and Silent Bob cameo was like, holy shit. I think it kind of was a fun thing to put in there, because I believe that they were shooting this movie and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back around the same time. So the sets, you know, are from the same studio, so the sets were going to be close together, and it was just kind of a fun thing that Wes Craven wanted to put in, since they put Wes Craven in a cameo in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I figured that just Jay and Silent Bob are just returning a favor, doing a little cameo for this movie, because they are walking around the Miramax lot in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So a lot of people hate the cameo. I'm fine with that because of that reasoning behind it. Carrie Fisher's cameo, where Jennifer and Gail go down to the basement to find some information out. on uh, Marine Prescott, and they're all making that fact of, hey, you look just like. She's like, no, I was up for Princess Leia, but who gets it? The one who sleeps with George Lucas. I've been hearing that all my life. I'm like, Carrie Fisher's just great in anything she's in. I like seeing Carrie Fisher pop up in unexpected roles like this. Uh, there is one scene that's actually pretty creepy in this movie. And to me, the two scariest scenes in the Scream movies are obviously the opening scene with Drew Barrymore in the first film, and there's a scene where you see the ghost of Sydney's mom walking up to the window, and she's like, "Everything you touch, Sid, dies." That scene's pretty creepy. That gives you the heebie-jeebies. So I will say it had that, but just that one scene. Overall, it's a mess. There are some things here and there that I don't mind, but yeah, it's just a mess. And for the most part, fuck 90% of this movie. Fuck 90% of it, and yeah, guys, I don't want to talk about this movie much more. I already mentioned the small amount of things I did like about it, but for the most part, this movie is going to get a D minus. It's going to get a D minus. It's got a couple okay things about it. Some stuff I actually like about it, but for the most part, it's a mess and it's bad. So guys, that's all I can say for today. I'll see you guys in the next video.